I'm Rico Abreu, and you're watching The Skinny.
From the Fatheadz Eyewear Studios in Speedway, Indiana, this is The Skinny, brought to you by Toyota, Rhino Classifieds, General Tire, and Dream Giveaway. This segment of The Skinny is brought to you by Toyota. Welcome back to The Skinny. Ken Stout, Rico. I almost said Abreu. Rico Elmore sitting alongside.
I know. I was waiting on him when he said, I wanted him to say, I'm Rico and this is The Skinny. I'm like, oh, I'm Rico. What are you talking about here?
Well, my initial open that Michael screwed up, by the way, our engineer here today.
Thanks, Mike.
I was going to say, if you could see them standing here side by side, you'd clearly understand that we have the Rico twins here with us. But
he's 7 minutes older than me, so it's good.
Rico Abreu has joined us here from California, fresh off of his run at the Chili Bowl. Another stellar effort there. Ended up inside of the top three. Always a tough player. Another win on his prelim night. Pretty impressive run there, my friend. And another solid Chili Bowl.
Yes, sir. It was a good one. Getting 5 prelim years in a row. Putting ourselves in contention every year is all you can ask for at the Chili Bowl. Just being right there at the end. So we got going pretty good at the end of the race. It was exciting for me to just be right there knocking on the door. I know Christopher and Tanner got going early, and then it just took some time to get to them. Once we were there, we showed Bell the nose and got him going. So it was a lot of fun. Another great year at the Chili Bowl. It's one of my favorite races to be able to attend.
Talk to me about, you mentioned that prelim, 5 consecutive, and I think, is it 7 or 8 overall, but 5 consecutive, incredible effort there. I thought it was 7 total. Does that sound right?
Yeah, so it's 7 out of 8 years. So I had 2017 had a down year, but Keith Coons, he builds the best race cars when it comes to USAC Power Eye Midget Racing. And his cars, they perform when they get inside that building. So I'm excited to be able to enjoy all of those wins with him and his organization. They've put together a stout team this year, bringing 15 cars, locking 5 of them into the A main, and 4 of them were preliminary night main event winners.
Yeah, the first 4 nights, it's all Keith Coons. Incredible effort there, and you known as Mr. Wednesday Night, but boy, you were put to the test, and Chase Randall's running down there on that catfish line, that gutter rat line, if you will, and he closed the gap, took the lead, and then slid you, banged the berm, and that was the end of his run. But man, I was thinking, stay at the bottom, dude. It's working. What are you doing? Like, just stay down there. You're driving away from him. But once that happened, man, you set sail.
Yeah, he, Chase put a little pressure on us. Made us really get up and get going there at the end. Then Kevin Thomas Jr. put some pressure on us the last few laps. I was able to ride the high line and then move down on the white flag lap in 3 and 4 and block Kevin's run. So it was, just another fantastic night where you put a solid race together. We got a heat race win, a qualifier win. Started 3rd in the feature on the prelim night, and about halfway we were leading. So those guys, they're going to put pressure on you, especially when you're leading. It makes it really difficult to know where to run. You can judge that off lap traffic, and that Wednesday we didn't really have the chance to get into lap traffic, maybe once or twice in the race, but nothing for me to really be able to judge the pace. So I just kind of set my pace on the top, and once I seen somebody on the bottom, I moved down.
Yeah, I mean there was some amazing racing this year, and as we were talking earlier, been there many years, watched many people beat that track and been beat up by that track, and it takes one small mistake. It's not like it's some catastrophic. You fence it, you hit the wall, any of the above. I mean, it's a bobble. And for the consecutive wins that Rico's had, and again, like you said, Keith Coons' operation, it's and by the way, I don't want to go without saying this, Dason Pursley being there
Oh, super cool.
I mean,
That was pretty
that was
special. Yeah.
yes. How's he? I didn't get to talk to him. He was over there, and I didn't want to bother him. But doing a lot better.
Yeah, he's in great spirits, man, and he's working hard just to get him back to 100%. I noticed, he mentioned a little bit of struggle with the left side of the body, but there's no boundaries to what the kid is capable of doing. There's nobody holding him back. He's pushing himself, and that's what you want to see. And he's in good hands, with the support of, I think he's at the Spinal Center in Atlanta, Georgia. What an amazing group to be a part of. And, his mother is definitely mom of the year for taking care of him through all of this. And, that's your baby boy. So you're going to do whatever you can for him. And he was, it was just so emotionally great to see him out and about, see his face, see him smile. And even though he had a mask on the whole time, you could see, those cheeks were risen up, the whole Friday and Saturday time he was there. So it was great to see Dason. He's a fighter. He's got a great attitude towards the direction he's going with everything, and he's going to be in a race car not before long.
It's easy to lose sight of what your goal is when you get in the middle of the fight, like he's in the middle of the fight right now.
Right.
And I promise you, when he got out there and got around those racers and got around all of you guys again, man, it had to be a huge emotional support for him.
Yeah, I mean, that's everything. Is those the fans, his family, the racers? That's what's driving him to keep this fight alive. And it was really awesome to see him. I got a little emotional when he walked out in the grandstands in 3 and 4, and you see the support from the fans. And it's not just the racers that are following his path here with with a road to recovery. So it's the race fans, it's his family, and the racers. You guys, everybody's behind this kid, and that's what's gonna bring him back to the top.
It was pretty unbelievable. The fans when he got announced, and I mean, I hadn't seen him there yet. I didn't wander far from the cooler, but anyhow, I hadn't seen him yet, and he was, it was awesome, man. And Kaylee Bryson, I brought her up earlier on a show we were just talking about, teammate of yours. She's got some definite drive, some spunk, man, and she wasn't going to be denied to make history that night.
She did an amazing job. 10th to first in a B main is pretty difficult when it's you're at the Chili Bowl. Those are obviously that B main is those guys that all the third place finishers from the prelim nights. So they're a pretty stout field there. So it's third, fourth, fifth, I think all the way through seventh. So you're not racing against anybody that doesn't know what they're doing. So she did an amazing job. First female to make the A main at the Chili Bowl, history. It's just there was a lot going on at the Chili Bowl, so it was cool to be a part of all that.
Yeah, and she'd kind of forecasted that. I think she had qualified on the pole out at Ventura for Turkey Night Grand Prix, and if I'm not mistaken, I think an all-female front row, first time in history there as well. So some talented ladies coming through the field. I thought a really cool moment was right before driver introductions. I don't know if you caught this or not, Rico, but Timez was standing there and wanted to get a selfie with her. And I was like, that's Timez. Timez wanting to get a selfie with Kaylee. That's pretty damn cool, man.
That's cool. Yeah, that's great. Timez is a wild guy.
He's just a little wild. Just a little out there.
Hey man, talk me through that race on your prelim night. You were talking about it before. You actually struggled a little bit in the beginning trying to get that thing sorted. You went up to the top, and boy, running the top all week long. I mean, it seemed like there was some speed there, but boy, as Rico Elmore here said in the studio, you needed to be spot on. You could miss it by a couple of inches, man, and find yourself on your lid. But you were finally able, I don't know what it was, maybe midway point through, finally figured that top shelf out, and you were just grazing that ledge and driving off of it. It looked beautiful.
Once the pace slowed down, my car got really good. In the beginning of the race, there was quite a bit of grip. It was just a little bit more difficult to take off. So I moved up. I ran the bottom the first few laps, moved up. That little cushion got to start getting built, and it really took off about halfway through. So over the years, I've been so committed to running the bottom at the Chili Bowl. This year, I showed up saying I'm going to run wherever my car wants to take me. If I feel like going to the top, I'm going to try to make this work. So, about halfway through the race on Wednesday night, I was able to really take off and get some big speed down the back straightaway and pass McDougal and Colby Copeland in 3 and 4, and then got to racing with Chase Randall and Kevin Thomas Jr. Made a race-winning move, on the last lap in 3 and 4 on the bottom. So the track kind of started on the bottom. Halfway through, we were all ripping the top, and then the last 10 or so laps, it was starting to work its way back to the bottom, just because the top gets so treacherous. Once it gets up by the wall, the cushion gets so defined to run. It's really difficult to not make mistakes, and you see those guys venture back to the bottom, and one little hiccup, and they'll get right to you and pressure you and make you have to drive a little bit harder, which raises that bar for that mistake factor. So, luckily I was just trying to be smooth and stay calm as well as I could. There at the end, being pressured, I just didn't want to make mistakes, so I slowed my pace down a little bit, allowed Kevin to get to my inside, and luckily I got down at the right time on the last lap, and that's what won us the race.
Rico Abreu, one of our house drivers here at Fatheadz Eyewear, on the show with us here today. An outstanding young gentleman and a qualified driver for sure. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
This segment of The Skinny has been brought to you by General Tire. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire. General Tire's Grabber X3 Mud Terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. Make your anywhere possible by visiting GeneralTire.com today.
This segment of The Skinny is brought to you by Rhino Classifieds. Tired of all those ads and random stuff that shows up when you're looking to buy or sell your car parts? Rhino Classifieds was created just for you. Welcome to a streamlined buying and selling app created by racers for racers and race fans. Modified cars, classic cars, race cars, that special big block you need, the trailer to move your baby around the country in. We got you at rhino.co. Welcome back to The Skinny. We have an amazing race car driver on the show with us here today, and Rico Abreu, the 2014 USAC National Midget Champ and Indiana Midget Week Champ, 25 wins that year, 2013 National Midget Rookie of the Year, of course, two-time Chili Bowl winner as well, longtime driver for Keith Coons, and currently you really run a mixed bag of where you want to go racing, man. It might be World of Outlaws, it might be All-Stars, it might be USAC, who knows where you might see Rico Abreu. It's got to be a lot of fun for you to just pick and choose where you want to go play.
It is. I enjoy it. I just like to go race for money in the big races. So, as long as these guys keep paying good money, I'll keep showing up at their races.
True outlaw.
Yeah, true outlaw. How the series started, right? That's exactly.
right.
They didn't want to follow all the rules and the guidelines, so they started that thing. 2021 was a solid year for you, man. 17 top threes. I was kind of looking down through there for your results. Of the 17 top threes, 10 of those were second places. 3 of them wins, but man, bridesmaid. You had to be sick and tired of finishing seconds. Like, I got to win one of these things.
Yeah, we really got going there at the end of the year. That's just how it goes sometimes, Ken. And it's it can be difficult to win these races, especially when you're focusing on really key events, where the best competition is in the country. It just makes it difficult to win, but we were consistent, and that's all you can ask for, putting yourself in contention. That's really what I focused on this year, is just being right there at the end of these races. And, there's just little minor changes probably could have been the difference of us winning or losing races. The ones that got me quite frustrated were where we started off the front row and run third or fourth. Right at the end, we just kind of missed it on fuel load, or when the fuel load burned off, it got really difficult to just stick those rear tires of our sprint car. So, but we start in 2022 off great with a prelim win and a top 3. So 2 top 3 finishes in 2 races, which you can't ask for better than that.
So you got Rick Warner this year. Tell us about it.
I'm excited to get the opportunity to race with Rick. I feel like he's one of the best crew chiefs in the country, and I'm able to just take that next step of my success in my career, and I want to do whatever it takes to win the Knoxville Nationals and the Kings Royals and the races that pay the most money.
He definitely is unbelievable. I, of course, I've watched him for years, but really got to watch him when, Tony, when he was working with Tony on Tony's car, the 14 car. And I mean, I'm not sure if there's many that go at it exactly the way he goes at it, but it's pretty cool to watch. So I'm happy for you. I'm happy for him, and it's going to be good for everybody. And I just, as I told him when I saw him at the Chili Bowl, I told him, I said, one, you sound like hell, and I said, two, you better make sure you take care of yourself. And then, of course, I got to see his wife Danelle, which can be meaner than a snake at times if you provoke her. So, which is my favorite. So, but great family, and Ricky's son, he was with you for a minute, right? Is that
Yeah, Drew and I raced together for 2 years. We were together
Yeah.
for 2 years. So Drew and I, I consider him one of my best friends. Danelle, Stevie, Rick, they've been like family to me for almost 10 years now. When I first started hanging around the sprint car world, knowing Ricky, and then Drew being a mechanic out here in California, I get to see him, be around him. He's really close, lives close to me. So, they're just diehard race fans, family, come from a race background. All they know, all they want to do is race. Rick he's one of the best. And where he really comes in as a packaged mechanic crew chief is his experience and his critical thinking at the racetrack. Those final decisions that get made right before your car gets pushed out. And Rick is really good about driving confidence into that race car driver, and making them feel comfortable, and confident when they get out there on the racetrack that they are going to be fast no matter what the circumstances is. That race car is going to run right around that corner, and it's going to be stuck no matter where you run it.
Yeah, and he's a great coach. And I mean, just like Rico's talking about, but an unbelievable coach, and the knowledge that he has from the people that he learned it from is probably second to none. I mean, the Gary Stantons that Tanner was talking about earlier, Daryl Socher, of course Ronnie. Why am I forgetting Ronnie's name? The engine builder.
Shaver.
Yeah, Shavers. And yeah, I'm back from the Chili Bowl again.
You
But
can't. What makes it so interesting about the sport of sprint car racing is you can't buy experience, and you can't buy that knowledge. You can go and find a young kid, a young mechanic, and want to develop them to be a crew chief. But where people learn is experiences and different circumstances, and being out there on the road grinding, and taking down notes and understanding why things do what on race cars. As a mechanic or a crew chief coming up through the ranks, it's important that you surround yourself by the best people possible, and you learn everything you can from that person.
Yeah, that chemistry, everybody talks about it. You win a championship whenever there's team chemistry, and it's without it, you're not going to win a championship. But I love what you guys are saying about him, and I don't know him at all, but clearly a guy with a ton of experience, as you talked about, out on the road grinding for many, many years. So what it tells me is he sees a lot of stuff, and those seasoned eyes can correlate with a driver and what that driver's saying. Or, as you mentioned before, Abreu, he takes a look at that track just before you guys are going to roll off, and he's not guessing at what that track's going to do. He's got a pretty damn good idea of what that track's going to do and how it's going to develop, over the course of the laps of that main. So he can make those final adjustments, air pressures, whatever it may be, to make sure your car's as good as it is in the end. And then he installs that confidence in you, like you said. I mean, that's a lethal combination.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you show up to the racetrack with a plan. So the track does this, we're going to go this direction. The track does that, we're going to go that direction. You already know your decision's already made before it even happens. So that's where you beat these guys. And then the chemistry between the crew chief and the driver and the relationship, and he knows what I need and I know what he needs to keep excelling. And that's where you see these guys win these major races, and that's the position I need to be in to accomplish those goals in my career is winning the Knoxville Nationals, the Kings Royals, winning another Chili Bowl. I need to keep putting myself in good positions so I get those races won again.
I get starstruck myself. I mean, I feel the pressure. I've said this a couple times on the show. Short of my son winning a championship, a couple of moments with my son, safely inside of the top three was when I was standing at the line last year at the 500 on pole day, part of the Ganassi team. Clearly don't need a spotter whenever you're qualifying for a pole, but I was standing down there on the starting grid. So I'm thinking, wow, man, this and the pressure. I mean, my God, dude, there's just no explaining the amount of pressure that you feel standing down there. Everybody watching you. There's one car left to roll out, and it's Scott Dixon, right? And I remember one of the crew members turning around, never flinched, never blinked an eye, and he said, if they think that car's fast, wait till they see this one. And I was like, oh, my God.
Wow.
Never flinched. Like, we're just going to kick his ass, and that's what's going to happen. And
Rings for everyone.
And that's what happened.
See what I did there, Michael?
It was pretty cool.
Did you see who won or got second? Herta. Herta was second. And Herta was hauling ass.
Yeah.
But
that's right, because on the previous day, he went out when it was really hot, and he said there's a lot left inside of this car. So we knew he had a shot at the pole.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
But watching someone win the Chili Bowl, which Rico has done, watching Tanner do it this time, that close of proximity, I don't know which is crazier, the amount of people at the Speedway or that many people that close at the Chili Bowl. In the place, it's like deafening.
Yeah, the electrifying atmosphere, it's similar, isn't it?
Yeah, the inflatables over the top of the crowds.
I just kept telling Tanner, just because I've obviously experienced those moments, twice now, and I just kept telling him, like, we rode in the golf cart there over to the press conference, and it was, I just kept telling him, just enjoy this moment. Like, you never know if it'll happen again or not, but enjoy it. I mean, you just won the biggest race of the year for, a lot of us racers. The Chili Bowl is the #1 race. These guys, a lot of those guys in the building, they don't compete at the Knoxville Nationals or Kings Royal or, and some of them probably have never even attended those events, but the Chili Bowl is the #1 for more than, I'd say 90% of the people that were in that building. So it was, it's important you enjoy that time, enjoy it with your team, enjoy it, and I was walking out after the race and they were all partying down at their trailer, and I just made it a stop down there one more time just to tell them, it's pretty badass. I mean, what that building, how electric it gets, and they only remember one person that leaves when they leave that place, and that's who won the race, and that was Tanner Thorson.
We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be right back on the other side with more from Rico Abreu. This segment of The Skinny is brought to you by Dream Giveaway. Dream Giveaway has been giving away high-end American muscle cars to raise money for charity since 2007. Dream Giveaway is known for giving away classic and new muscle and paying the federal taxes so the winners don't have to. For $25, you can jump in the game, and part of that goes to charity. You'll have a chance at winning some of the coolest cars on the planet. Check it out at dreamgiveaway.com. Welcome back to The Skinny. We have Rico Abreu on the show with us here, fresh off of the 36th running of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl Midget Nationals, finished up inside of the top three. A great run once again with Keith Coons. And you were just talking about your good friend Tanner Thorson. You stopped by and afterwards and told him, hey, man, make sure you take it all in and enjoy this. And we had Tanner on the show here just previously, and he had that golden driller sitting right beside him the entire interview. He said, I'm still not sure I'm taking all this in. He said, I want to. He said, but I got to pinch myself. He said, but I'm taking this damn trophy with me everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's those ones are hard to get, man. It's the Chili Bowl. We're all racing there for one reason. It ain't the money. It's that golden driller that Tanner had in his hands.
Nobody has caught you when it comes to donuts, though. He went out there and attempted a donut, but there was no Rico Abreu donut.
No. The donut count that we had for Rico, it far exceeds anybody's chances.
I don't know if anyone will ever get close to those. That was a pretty unbelievable night. I've never done donuts since that night, so it's been 6 years now, I think, since I won the Chili Bowl. And I haven't done donuts because I don't think I could ever do anything that duplicates those. That was pretty wild.
Set the bar, you set the bar pretty high.
Bend the front end up on it and everything when he landed.
It was.
Well, you did enough of them to cover a career. I mean, boom, done. Donuts are done.
Yeah, I don't need to attempt to do anymore. I have the car here at our shop here in California, and it's the right front axle's bend up on it just because of those donuts. Must have been flying around there.
Tanner said he got out of the car. He said he was looking at the steering wheel later on. He said the steering wheel's all bent up. He said, I don't know how it got bent. He said, but it's bent.
He said it's absolutely dished in, like he had rammed it, like almost rammed his fist through it. And he said, yeah, he goes, I crossed the checkered and the start-finish line. He goes, I was about to pass out. He said it was just unbelievable.
That's pretty cool.
You couldn't even imagine that. But so what's your first race again, or what's your next race this year, I should say?
I'm planning on running about 60 Outlaw shows, so I think we're gonna try to start with them in Mongolia, Mississippi. So we'll see. We just got to see where we're at. I'm gonna spend some time in the middle of February, right when everybody goes. We're not going to Volusia, or any of the Florida stuff. So once everybody goes down there, I'm gonna go to Indy and kind of see where everything's at, and then we'll make a final decision on what our first race will be.
60 of those things, man. That's nearly the entire season.
Yeah, it's 3/4 worth or 80% of them. So I think it's I want to get out there and get racing with those guys. The Outlaws are the best in the country, and get racing and helping. We're going to sell T-shirts again and help Jason Sides, to bring his shirts out with us. So we're able to give the fans my shirts and Jason Sides shirts.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, and man, I was pretty impressed with the old Sides there the last couple of years. Since you guys have hooked up, he's definitely starting to make some moves of the years past, and looked like he got a little more pep in his step, maybe a little different help. So that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, Jay's out there. One of those guys been out there a long time grinding on it, and I just want to be, supportive of his race team and with us combining, it was able to help him more with sponsorship stuff, and it'll be a good time, man. The size boys are they're a little wild, guys.
That wild sides. I mean, they definitely and some of the best people you'll ever meet in your life. On top of it, so that's the cool part.
Abreu's right there with
That
him, by the
part.
way. I mean, we're getting the calm, docile Abreu here,
Yeah,
and
I know.
everybody's not seeing the real deal,
I
if
know
you will.
one thing he was talking
There's
about.
a dark side to
He was,
Abreu.
he was talking about
I don't know
preparing
what
and
you guys are
everything.
talking about.
He was talking about preparing. I was like, do they prepare for when you stay all night at the Dingus across the street from Knoxville, and
Well, sometimes things just run late.
you're all wadded up, and you're sorry that you have to run at 5 o'clock the next afternoon. So it's a good time. But now I met Rico, I don't know how many years ago, and he was just kind of new out here running running the midget stuff, and J.R. Todd, of course, which is a good friend to both of us as well, and we all just kind of started running around and becoming more friends and really close friends as it turns out, and he's got a great name, so he's got that going for him, which all the rest of it can just lay back, but no, there's nothing short of a good time, and the camaraderie that in the family that's around racing. I mean, they have no problem fighting, trust me, but I mean they also have no problem being tied together and helping each other. When I mean, you watch somebody come in off the track and their car's junked, and every team that doesn't want them to win is over there helping them get that car back together and trying to get them back on the track. So it's a great atmosphere. That's why we love it. That's why we're involved in it, and so it's a lot of fun. So we're excited to watch you do some more of it this year, bud.
I'm ready.
Let's talk about your dad for a moment, because the reputation you and your father have in the industry is second to none, and you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that has been around you guys that your father hasn't just helped a little bit, but has gone way out of his way, over and above, if you will, to help out so many people. Where does that passion stem from for your dad?
I think just understanding people, and my dad's desire to want to help people succeed, and not only just be successful, but just be the greatest of their ability in life. And you see my father get behind these young kids, Tanner Thorson's, Ryan Robinson's, myself, and that's just on the racing side. There's so much other stuff that he's able to, just get the best out of, even a mechanic, or, we're big into the livestock industry with my brother and sister and me growing up before I started racing, and just giving kids opportunities is something he's really, excelled at, and was, is able to do, and enjoy and give back to these communities. If it's racing, livestock, the wine industry. He's just anything he touches, he's 100% in on, and you don't see that across this country much, but when you do, it's really pleasant to see those things, and see people spread their money around to help others succeed in life.
So I was trying to think. The first team that I can remember him coming back, him or you guys coming east and doing USAC, was that when Larson was running? Was it
It was
Larson and
with
then you?
it was with Keith Bloom Jr. and Davey Jones.
Okay,
I don't know if
that
you
okay.
remember that. It would have been
I
like 2009, I think.
yep
He
yep
Davy Jones built a team basically from scratch
yep.
for and Keith Bloom Jr. started driving. I think he did 2 years, and then Larson, Larson and I became really good friends through the go-kart stuff. And Larson just started running some. He started at Kading, Stadelhofer Construction, one of my father's business partners. Do a lot of business together in the Napa Valley. Seeing Kyle Larson at the Calistoga of Louis Vermeil the first year, and he was wanted to help Kyle, and then they got together and did some stuff with the Kadings with Kyle when he won the Golden State Championship, and then Kyle was looking to do some stuff in Indiana, and my dad had all this stuff there, and for some reason I don't think Bloom could race, or it was kind of on the downfall of that era of my dad supporting him, and we called Davey Jones. It was like 3 a.m, and we were like, "Hey, we want to fly in and race. Can you get the car ready?" And
Yep,
Kyle
I'll have
and
it
I
ready.
smoked back there. Yeah, and that thing was ready. And Kyle, I think he ran second at Bloomington, and then we went to Lawrenceburg and won or something. And then it was on from there. And
Da-
then they started
Da-
building wing cars.
Davey,
It
yeah,
was pretty cool.
yeah. Davey is, I mean, he is one of a kind, and I of course remember that well, and but Rico just brought something up that I have to touch on. They were trained by Bud Kading. That's the problem.
Yeah.
The whole party atmosphere, or the good time atmosphere, I should say. And I think Bud's brother that ran some of Tony's stuff. He's like, yeah, Bud can do anything, and they just laugh and think it's great. He goes, I do anything like that. Somebody wants to punch me in the face. I go, clearly. He's clear. He's clearly got that Midas touch. So, but yeah, I was talking to when we were talking to Tanner. I was discussing having lunch with your dad, and of course, had spent some time with him before that. But spending lunch with him and talking about just different things, and just an incredible human being. I mean, just an unbelievable person. I mean, although he did throw you in the floorboard of the truck and cover you up with a jacket, we do remember that story
He
from
did.
the last show.
I always learn something when I'm talking to you. I had no clue your father was involved in construction at all, nor did I have any clue that you guys had anything to do with livestock animals and were big in that. But I for sure knew about the Abreu vineyards, and I wanted to go into that a little bit with you. I've always been very curious. I went on the website today, and I see on there olive oils. You know, they have the olive trees and blackberries, and of course the grapes for the vineyard. But the one that caught my eye was the waiting list. You have to get on a waiting list.
Oh yeah.
And let me know if I'm saying this right. You have to be on the list in order to buy from you guys, and if you're not on the list, you have to get on the waiting list to get onto the list. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. It's so they have a wait list just because there's such a minimal selective of wine that they sell each year, and it once you get off the list, then the next person gets on that's been waiting. So we've heard of people been waiting for 6 years now to get on, and they haven't got on yet.
So the fact that my wife's birthday is this coming Friday isn't going to help at all whenever I say, I'd love to get a bottle of wine for her.
Oh, you can go online and pony up. That's what you could
Yeah.
do. So.
There's secondary market you could jump on, but it's no, we're really fortunate to be in those positions, and there's very humbling industry the wine industry is, and it's where the best wine in the world comes from, right here in Napa Valley.
And it's nothing short of that.
Yeah, I know you're familiar with it for sure, and you guys almost lost it all, right, in the fire?
Yeah, that's you guys were. Tell us about that a little bit. I forgot.
Yeah, we were close. The fire was right here in our backyard, burned some of our ranch actually, where our grapes are produced from. So, but luckily we got such a great group of people that are here and that wanted to help save the place. We got a bunch of bulldozers, built up a fire break, and that's what helped save our ranch, where majority of the wine is stored, and then all of our equipment.
I can read the label now. The sweet, fruity taste with a natural, smoky filled.
It's got
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of an oak taste to it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean his brother. I saw pictures, of course. His brother out with fire.
It was all
hoses,
in.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I mean,
Scary stuff.
Just out there going at it, and I mean, I kept texting him, and cell service was crazy, and I was like, dude, are you all right? I mean, I'll drag whatever I can out there, to help, but it was a scary time for everybody in that area, and glad they made it through it. And I know that at one point, when Rico and I were talking about it, they were concerned that exactly what you just said, that the smoke was going to ruin the grapes. And I think you guys made it through that decently, right? Is that what you told me?
Yeah, some of it was pretty wounded, but there was some stuff they could that they saved or they picked before the fire. So that's right in harvest season, October. So last year it was, I think, a year and a half ago now. So but it was they were able to salvage some of the fruit and save it, but some of it, the smoke, it was tainted. So you when you sell a quality wine like Abreu Vineyards does, you can't sell something tainted to these customers. So you honestly just, what they did was just drop the fruit on the ground, and they called 2020 as a loss.
What is the starting point on a Abreu Vineyards bottle of wine? I mean, I'm just thinking, if I get on the wait list and it's 6 years and I start saving now.
Right. You can do payroll deduct.
Maybe like $1,000 a year. Am I in the hunt?
We can get.
Yo, I just need to send you some wine, and you'll enjoy it.
Let me ask you this: is there a waiting list for the extra virgin olive oil? Can you get a bottle of that?
I can get you some olive oil. It's good cooking olive oil. It comes right off our farm. So that's another entity that my dad has created, is in the olive oil industry as well, where they hand pick these olives and they send them down the road to get pressed, and they come right back, and everything's handcrafted. So it's here at our ranch. So they actually obviously buy the glass for the olive oil, but they do the corking and the capsules and everything right in house,
But he has
the
he
labels.
has a special
the labels
glass, right?
Yeah.
Is it special glass or label?
Yeah.
France.
Huh?
That's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's the
France.
glasses from France. Yeah.
I saw a documentary on. I saw a documentary. I'm not going to go there. I saw a documentary on virgin olive oils and how
then you went there
and how they were created. In some town in Italy, and the taste testers. I mean, my God, dude, I mean, it's a legit process. It's a very serious process. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, man, that's super cool, because that is not an easy industry. It's very, very difficult.
Yes, it is. And it's very competitive as well. So there's, you could tell the difference pretty quickly of, our family's olive oil compared to your normal, cooking olive oil that you can buy at the grocery store.
So he'll get you a bottle of that. You can drink that. And
Yeah.
the wine you're.
That's a little bit easier to get.
Yeah, send me that, and I'll tell my wife, hey, I got you. Don't put it in a virgin olive oil bottle. Just put it in a wine bottle, and I'll say, look what I got
Okay.
you.
This is right from Abreu.
Abreu Vineyards right here. Let's cook with it. It only costs $6,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff, man. As always, we always love having you on the show, man. You're a ball of fire, a load of energy. You're an incredible driver. Love to watch you do what you do, man. Your father and what you guys do for the industry, we can't thank you guys enough.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Rico Abreu, ladies and gentlemen, once again here on The Skinny. We certainly appreciate his time. Hope you enjoyed the show. You can always check it out. By the way, go to that website and check out the Abreu Vineyards. Yes, you're welcome to jump on that waiting list. Till then, we'll see you next time. Thanks for being with us here on The Skinny. This episode has been brought to you by Toyota, Rhino Classifieds, Dream Giveaway, and General Tire. For the latest in sunglasses, optical frames, accessories, and apparel, be sure to check out Fatheadz.com. That's Fatheadz with a Z. Production facilities provided by Fatheadz Eyewear Studios. All rights reserved.